everyone. Today we're gonna work on a painting project to do some fall trees. Thought this would be a fun project for this time of year. So I'm gonna show you the steps on how to do this. It's pretty easy, and I hope you like the results of it, of my results anyway. So what you're gonna need is a piece of paper. I'm going to use white paper. You could also use colored paper if you want to, but we're just going to use white paper. You're going to need a pencil to start with, and what you're going to want to do with your pencil is draw an odd number of circles or ovals on your paper. So I'm going to draw, you want to draw them big, some of them big, some of them small. Different sizes, so you could do 3 like this, or you could do 5. So I'm going to do 5. So I'm going to draw 2 more. 1, and also have one of them overlap with another circle, like that. So then you can kind of erase that out right there. All right, so got that. Got 5 circles on your paper. Now what you're going to need is some paint. Alright, so I'm going to leave this here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I've got paint here. I've got fall colors. I got red, yellow, orange, some green, a little bit of brown. We're going to also be using some black later. Alright, and then you need 2 sizes of paintbrushes. You might be able to get away with 1, but 2 works good. A smaller one and a bigger one. And then what you want to do is inside each of the trees, well, they're not trees yet, but inside each of the circles, we're going to paint stripes of the fall colors. And so I'm going to start with red, and I'm going to outline some of them with the paint, and other ones I'm going to just do on the inside. And these don't have to be real neat. You can go outside the lines a little bit. That's not going to hurt anything. Now I'm doing this kind of quick. You could do more than 1 circle on each one. Some of them I might just do 1, some I'll do 2. It's okay if they're not all centered and all that. Some of the lines can be thicker than others if you want to use your smaller paintbrush. This one I'm using the flat of the brush sometimes, and sometimes I use the side of it to get a little bit thinner lines. So you can kind of decide how you want to do that. Alright, then I'm going to go back around with my other 3 colors, 2 colors. Again, if you get outside the lines a little bit, that's not gonna mess anything up. Okay, so we got wash out our brush. You want to make sure you have some water. All right, make sure you dry your brush off really good with the paper towel also. Okay. All right, then I'm gonna go to orange. So I'm gonna start with darker, go to lighter. So now I'm going to do some more circles inside the big circles that I drew initially. And don't worry, like if the paint mixes together, that's okay. Also.
Alright, so we get these all painted in. And this is my second painting I've done, so this one's already looking a little bit different than my first one. Again, don't worry if your red mixes in with the orange at all. You'll notice too, on the paint colors here, I had some red on my brush, but I just dipped it straight in and back out, and it's not going to leave any of that red paint in the orange when you do that. Okay, wash out my brush on that. And then the last color we're going to do is some yellow. So, do that here. Alright, again, it's going to want to mix together. That's okay. Especially with the yellow. So you want to do that on the circles. Alright, now, missed this spot here.
Okay, so wash out my brush on that. Now I've got a little bit of green and a little bit of brown on my paint tray here. So I'm gonna use a little bit of that, but I'm gonna use my smaller brush. And I'm just gonna go back in and do a couple little marks here and there that kind of go in that little circle direction. So you can do a little green. And I'm also gonna do this a little bit with the brown. So I'm just doing it real quick. It's not like, this is not like a real precise painting. All right, gonna do the brown a little bit also. Might do want to let that one go outside the tree a little bit. You can do that a little bit just to make it look a little more interesting. The idea is to get some paint colors on your paper there inside the circles. Down here at the bottom, we're going to divide this up into 3 areas. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 like that. And then we're going to take our 3 fall colors. We're going to paint each section one color. So paint this in here. Again, if you get outside the lines, no big deal. And if you get a little bit of paint on the table, it'll wash off. This paint will anyway. Okay, so you did that one orange. The next one I'm going to do with some red. I'm gonna do this one here red. We're gonna let this all dry. Next time you come to art class, we're gonna do the tree trunks. So I'll be showing you that next. All right, stay tuned. Okay, so the next step we're gonna do is take our big paintbrush and we're going to paint the silhouettes of the tree trunks onto our painting. So we're gonna use some black paint. And from each tree, we're going to paint a straight line down, or as straight as you can go. And just down to the bottom like that. So it kind of looks like lollipop trees right now. All right, if you want to, like this one, I'm going to make it go off the bottom of the paper. Short tree. And this one, the tree trunk is going to be behind this tree, so I'm going to put it right here. And like when you're drawing these, make them not all stop at the same point. So there's a little bit of variety in your tree trunk. Now, I'm going to switch to my other smaller brush. I'm going to get some more black paint. And I'm going to add some tree branches going off to the side. So they can be right here. I'm going to press down on the brush kind of hard so you get a nice thick line. And some of them can start down here and go up as well, below the tree trunk. Just keep working on painting the tree trunks, or painting the branches onto the trees. Kind of the bigger branches. You can just keep them kind of short inside, mostly inside the tree. Okay, now, last thing we gotta do with the tree trunks is down at the bottom, we're gonna paint the roots down here. So we're just gonna paint some lines going out like this from the bottom. We're gonna let all this dry. And then the last thing that we need to do is the background up here. We're gonna do that with some crayons. So I'll show you that after this is all dry. We'll come back and finish it up for you. Mostly dry. So the last step is to work on the background. So what I did is I picked out 3 different colors of blue. And so what you want to do is outline around the trees with the crayon a little bit. And you can see in this one, in this picture, I did it about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 different times, and then just colored the rest of it in. But you can do it, you know, however you want to as far as that goes. But I'm just gonna color around these. And it doesn't, again, this part doesn't need to be neat either. Just kind of outline them. Sorry if it's a little rough. This one here, I'm gonna color around part of it, not all of it. Okay, so you get the idea. I'm gonna color around, then I'll go back with the next color with that one. Alright, and then the next one. If you don't have all these blue colors, you can just, you know, use whatever blue color you have, and maybe a green, or something like that. Purple. You could use those colors. That'd be fine. And if you want to mix them up around the trees differently, that's fine too. Alright, so anyway, you want to color all the way, you know, color in your background, all with the crayons so that it looks something like this when you're all done. Okay, so I hope you have fun with this, and this would be a nice picture to frame and hang up on your wall for fall as some decoration.